They called her many names: the Virgin, the Handmaid, the Mother of God. But what if the early church saw more than that? What if Mary wasn't just a humble mother in history, but the living bridge between heaven and earth? A mystery so deep that even angels whispered her name with awe? In dusty catacombs beneath ancient Rome, early Christians painted her image beside Christ, not below him, but beside him, cradling not only a child, but a symbol of divine humanity. To them, she was the new beginning of creation. The woman whose, yes, rewrote the fate of the world. Long before cathedrals or crowns, before statues or stained glass, believers gathered in secret caves. And when they spoke of Mary, they didn't speak lightly. They called her the new Eve, the woman whose obedience untied the ancient knot of sin. As Eve listened to the serpent and brought death, Mary listened to God and brought life. To the early fathers, Ignatius of Antioch, Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Mary wasn't just a figure in a story. She was proof that the divine could dwell in flesh. Through her, God didn't just visit humanity. He became one of us. They believed her womb was the first tabernacle, the living ark of the new covenant. Just as the ark carried the presence of God in the Old Testament, Mary carried the Word himself, hidden, silent, alive within her. When Elizabeth cried out, "Blessed are you among women," the early Christians heard echoes of the ancient ark entering Jerusalem. They saw Mary as the fulfillment of prophecy. The woman clothed with the sun, crowned with 12 stars, standing at the heart of God's plan for salvation. To them, she was not a goddess, but the highest example of what it means to be human, redeemed and radiant. A mirror reflecting what grace can do when a heart fully says, "Yes." The early church taught that Mary's greatness wasn't in power, but in surrender. She showed that divine strength isn't loud, it's obedient. Not proud, but pure. Not above others, but for others. And that's the truth the modern world forgets. Mary's story isn't about distance, it's about closeness. It's about a woman whose faith turned eternity inside out. A woman who stood beneath the cross and didn't run away. A woman whose heart became the blueprint of redemption. When the early church spoke of her, they weren't exalting her, they were testifying. Because in her life, they saw a glimpse of heaven's logic. That God chooses the lowly to lift the world. She wasn't just a mother. She was the door through which heaven entered earth. And that's why the early Christians whispered her name with tears of awe. Because they knew, through Mary, humanity itself was made holy again.